October 26, 2010. About this time of night, I was in a lounge, an airport lounge in Miami Airport, and I was drinking way too much Chardonnay. And I was thinking, I really need to change my life. But I was having a good enough time, I was having enough of a good time that I didn't notice, actually, that I was going to miss my plane. Now, this was a layover, and I was catching the 9 p.m. to Boston to get home, and I realized, oh shoot, I cannot miss this plane. There isn't another one after it. So I did something really uncharacteristic for me. I ran and I ran towards a plane, and the whole time I'm running, they're announcing things like, Catherine Buhler, you're going to miss your flight. Catherine Buhler, please meet us at gate 48C. And I was like, God damn it. And I'm running and I'm sweating, and I just made it, just before the doors closed. I got there. And I had 150 people looking at me, pissed off, and I was like, oh, sorry, I'm that girl today. And I kind of worked my way towards the back where I was seated. And I noticed this very large man in the back had taken my aisle seat. And I say he was large. He was too large for us to put the little seat divider down, right? I call that my personal barrier. He was too large. He had a big bucket of Kentucky Fried Chicken on his lap, and the seat table would not have gone flat. But again, I thought I kind of deserved this, and man, I need to change my life. So I poured myself over him, and like I said, I was sweaty and a little bit drunk, and I wedged myself between his person and the window, and the lukewarm air of the vent just kind of was drying the sweat on my scalp, and then we took off, and I fell asleep or passed out, whatever you want to call it. So I was up in the air for about 40 minutes, and then all of a sudden, the plane lurched forward and went boom, really loud. I thought we crashed. My face hit the seat in front of me. My nose was bleeding. My ears collapsed in. Plane went dark, and all of the oxygen sucked out of the plane like, and it was cold, like we were in a refrigerator. So what do? Well, I hope you never find out, especially anyone flying tomorrow. But I'm going to tell you what happens. What happens is the oxygen masks come down, and the bag does not inflate, right? Help yourself before helping others. Oxygen is flowing. All that crap you don't listen to is true. So fine. So I did all that, and we're all sitting there, and the pilot said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very sorry. I don't know what happened to this plane, but we are 1 hour over the Atlantic Ocean. We need to turn around and go back to Miami. He had more to say. We are at 31,000 feet right now. There is no oxygen in this plane, and we only have about 2 more minutes before we run out, so we need to get down to 5,000 feet very quickly. Everybody, hold on. So that brave pilot took a 757, and he basically did a barrel turn. He did a hard left and turned, and crap was falling down everywhere. And the man sitting next to me, his chicken had flown up in the air, and people were hurt, right? And everyone's kind of panicking. And that's when it happened. Time slowed down like molasses. Like when you're in a car accident, time all of a sudden goes in slow motion, but that's usually a few seconds, and this was about an hour. So first thing I thought was, I wish my boys would have a mother. But then I thought, you know what? They are loved, and they do whatever they want anyway, whatever I say. They'll be okay. And then I thought, I hope my husband's not lonely. And then I realized, you know, he's pretty handsome, and I have a lot of divorced friends. Somebody will scoop him up eventually. He won't be lonely for long. And that was only 2 minutes. So the man next to me actually turned out to be really, really nice, and I was kind of glad to have the pressure on this side. And so he gave me 2 KFC paper napkins, and I shoved them up my nostrils to stop the bleeding. And he gave me a stick of gum, which I chewed, and that helped my ears. Now, I have never seen a scenario like this end well, so I was thinking this is it, right? And I thought, do I have anything I regret? And trust me, ladies and gentlemen, I have lived fully. I should have a lot of things I regret, but at that moment, nothing really came to mind, except I had been spending the last 8 years at a job that I loved but didn't love me back. And I decided if I didn't die, what I would do is from now on, I would help regular people get richer instead of just helping rich people get richer. So the plane landed, I did not die, and what ended up happening was a piece of the roof had ripped open like a tin can, about 1 foot by 2 feet. They rushed us, they were yelling at us basically on the ground, telling us to get on another plane, and somebody said, if you're hurt, you can't fly. So I pulled the bloody napkins out of my nostrils, and I said, I'm good. And I got on that plane. I got home by 4 o'clock in the morning instead of 1, which by American Airlines time is on time. And I changed my life. Thank you.